Alright, so we have the four-wheeler back home, rolled it into the garage, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I had no idea what this thing was, but I've been doing a little bit of research while the battery is over here. We took it out, put it on the charger. So I just decided to go ahead and bring the phone out and do a little bit of research on it. And boy oh boy, I did not realize that this Yamaha is apparently one of the pioneers. It's the first four-wheeler to have four wheels, hence why it's called the Moto4. So this is a 1987. We did go ahead and decode the VIN down here. It's right on the frame, kind of hard for you guys to see, but went ahead and looked it up. So the first year of the Yamaha Moto4 apparently was in 1985, and before that, all the ATVs had three wheels. You know, obviously the three-wheelers from back in the day. Well, Yamaha decided three wheels wasn't enough, and so they decided to go ahead and put a fourth wheel and tire on it, hence Moto4. And they created this. So a pretty cool little four-wheeler. They started off with a 200 or 250cc in 1985, and then in 1987 they came out with the 350 on the Moto4 package. So this is technically the first year of the 350 on the Moto4 package, and they kind of stuck with it up until 1995-ish. So I mean, just to say how excited, I'm probably the most excited to get this one running than I have on any other ones. I had no idea what we were getting our hands into. He just had the buddy that had this and wasn't doing anything with it, and he kind of just passed it off onto him. And then he got a hold of me and said, hey man, I know you like tinkering with them, so let's go ahead and try to get this one running. And I'm definitely gonna be trying to buy this off of him. He's definitely not gonna sell it to me, but I am falling in love with this little guy. All the plastics are in perfect shape. Still has all the stickers, everything's still in place. Grips are a little bit torn up just over the years, but everything is complete. We have the mileage speedometer up here. It looks like it's at 1,332. The choke, neutral, reverse light. I mean, throttle still there. Has a little gun rack up top. Only damage I've seen so far is a little rip in the seat, but the seat itself is in great condition with still all of the cushion underneath it. So if you ever wanted to go ahead and replace this, you could, or if you want to keep it original. I mean, it is in really good shape. This thing was just sitting behind a shed for years. So it has the Yamaha logo on the back here. I mean, very complete. Just needs a good clean. Taillight's in good shape, no cracks. Once we get the battery on here, we'll see if the lights work. Obviously, we're also going to check to see if we have any spark. That'll be one of the first things. We're going to check the compression, which I've already did a pull cord just to make sure it's freed up. It is freed up. But I mean, this thing was, like I said, besides just being a little bit dirty, I mean, someone took really good care of this thing. Two-wheel drive, it isn't the four-wheel drive model, but everything is complete. Everything looks really good. Everything's connected. Nothing really tampered with. From what I can tell, like I said, I'm still learning on what this is, but everything I've seen so far, it looks like it's all original. All complete, nothing aftermarket from what I've seen. I know these do have Bridgestones on it, and I guess a lot of guys like to run the Dunlap tires on it. But a very, very neat little four-wheeler. Like I said, it is freed up. I just made sure of that, even though I'm struggling right now with the camera. But it is freed up. Looks super solid. I can't wait to throw the battery back on here and see which carburetor. Looks a little dirty, but looks like we have a little fuel filter right here peeking. But once we get the battery back on here, we'll check for spark, make sure we have, or see what our compression's at. It is oil cooled, so you can kind of see the oil cooler right here. As you can see, oil cooled. So we have a little oil cooler up there to keep the Moto4 cooled down. But I am super stoked for this one.
Yeah, it's a little stiff. There we go.
Went ahead and stole the battery out of my Arctic Cat over here. I was just a little bit too excited. Don't want to wait on the battery to charge. Got the key, just want to go ahead and see if all the lights and whatnot work. Alright, let's see. We should be in neutral. Alright, neutral light works. Headlights are off now. You want to go ahead and hit, see if
Let's see
low beams and high beams work.
I'll probably need to put it in run first.
Alright, we got lights. Low beams.
That's low beams. Let's see if we got high beams.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
Brake light is illuminated. That is insane. One find that we did find back here, which is really neat. Looked at it off camera. We got a spark plug. Where'd that piece go? I'm assuming this is an original PSI gauge for the tire pressure. So that is pretty neat. Still intact. So I'm not sure what these are going for nowadays. I'm assuming this is the original one from 1987, but a very cool find. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this ignition coil off of the spark plug and pull the spark plug out of the cylinder head and see if we have any compression. Alright, what kind of spark plug do we have? It is an NGK. So it definitely been replaced before. Let's plug it back in and see if we have any spark.
Alright. Keys on.
Yep. Alright, we have good spark, so we can check that off the list. We have the compression gauge hooked up. Let's see what we're running. Alright, looks like we're a little bit above 90, which is good. I mean, this four-wheeler hasn't ran in no telling how long, so I might just have to get a little bit of oil in the cylinder and it'll build up a little bit more. But 90 right off the bat's probably 93, closer to 100 right off the bat's pretty good. So pretty hopeful we might be able to get this thing running today with some fresh gas and clean out the carburetor. Taking the cover off of the intake. Hopefully we don't have any dead rodents in here. About to find out for the first time.
Better get the bat.
There it is.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, new air filter it looks like.
See a little
So it looks like
water right there, but it's not damp. I don't feel it.
barely holding on. This is definitely not, unless it's.
Oh, that's oil.
I guess it just.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I see. I was expecting it to kind of clamp onto the inlet tube. It looks like
it
it
just
kinda,
sits there.
I guess it just sits there. There's like a little nook in here.
Yeah, it's a little lock-in slot. Yeah, right there.
So you can kind of see on the filter, this housing, it kind of looks like it just sits literally just. I was worried it was just sitting in here freely, but no, definitely it locks in. Same thing on the other side.
Kind of weird design.
Kind of cool. But there's definitely some liquid down in there, so hopefully it's just maybe got some rainwater or something in there. It was sitting outside, like I said, behind a shed. But the filter looks fairly new, so maybe somebody was messing with it here recently. Currently just drying out all that water so we don't accidentally risk sucking something up into the intake. I made a cool find. This looks like it's the original tool set from Yamaha, from what I could tell at least. Looks like everything's in there. So that's another neat find. So pretty cool that the original owner kind of kept everything together and didn't part it out. Alright, we got the carburetor off of the Yamaha. Right now I'm just kind of working on getting this bowl off. Got two more. No fuel's coming out right now. So it's probably bone dry. Ooh. Get my light so you guys can see. Bunch of dirt. So probably hasn't had fuel in here in a while. Oh, I'm sitting here blinding you guys with a flashlight. I don't know if you can see, there's just a bunch of dirt in there. So it definitely has not had any sort of fuel in here in a while. Little more. There it is. Oh, there's gas in there. A little bit. Definitely on reserve. Alright, dumping the fuel out of the tank right now. I thought it was empty, but when we got the tank off, there's actually a little bit left in it. I'm not sure if you guys can see, there's definitely water in this gas tank. The petcock, the one screw is stripped, so I just had to turn around. We're going to have to order a new petcock. But just look how bad this fuel is when I go to dump it. Well, I'm going to have to show you guys on the actual, where is it at? I mean, it is just I don't know if the camera will show. It is disgusting. Alright, so as you guys seen, I took the bowl off. There was a bunch of dirt in it. I just kind of took this immediately off, went and sprayed some carb cleaner and just kind of see if there was any gunk in it to show you guys. And I noticed on the actual carb side that we were actually missing a couple pieces. There should be a piece right here, and there should be a spring holding this float on, and there's not. And I noticed also, if I take this rod off, if I can get it off, if I'm even in angle, there we go. Well, this has definitely been messed with. So I think with the new spark plug, the new air filter, and this being messed with, I think someone has tried working on this. I think we're gonna end up, since we're missing some pieces on the carb, we're either gonna have to get a different carb or buy a rebuild kit before we can actually get the Moto4 cranked up. But I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together and see if we can't just spray with some carb cleaner to see if we can't get it at least fired over, see if it'll try to run. Alright, so we got the carb back on, even with it all messed up. We're just gonna kind of spray some starter fluid in it. Got the ignition coil back on the spark plug. I have my gas tank over here because that was before we knew we weren't gonna be able to use the gas tank. I have the one off the Moto4. We gotta let it soak in degreaser tonight, try to get all that yellow gunk out of there. But yeah, we're just gonna, I guess we're gonna spray it in there. I'll hit the throttle with it. See if it doesn't want us to try to turn on. Alright, you ready? Yep. That was really weak.
Yeah.
I guess the choke isn't back on. Try it again.
It's not, you should be still full.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
It runs. Let's try it again.
Alright.
Ready?
Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
Dude, that is awesome.
Oh.
Unfortunately, we can't let it run any longer, obviously, with the carb issues. So we're going to have to either... That kit was... Let me take you guys off. I already forget what the name of that carb was. Maybe if you guys have a Moto4, you can tell me if it's the original or not. It is the original. We would like to try to rebuild it. It's called a Mikuni. You guys can let me know if that's the original carb or an aftermarket carb. If it's the original one, we'd like to go ahead and rebuild it. If it's an aftermarket one, it's kind of cheap junk anyways. I might go ahead and see if we can't find an original one, or just go ahead and try to find one just to slap on here for the time being. But it'll be really cool to put, because everything else is original on here, it'd be really cool to have another original carb on here. But yeah, gonna go ahead and end the video out here, guys. As always, appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you guys love to see the Moto4 back on the channel. Like I said, it's a buddies of mine. See if I can't buy it from him, but he's definitely not gonna give it to me. Awesome little four-wheeler, but it looks like it's going to be able to run and drive as soon as we get that new carb on there. Some fresh gas. Very, very cool little Yamaha. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.